Hi, I'm Mick from Superior Engineering, and today I'd like to talk to you about our new upper control arms for the current models of Toyota Vigo, Toyota Prado, your 120, 150, your FJ Cruiser and your 200 series. These are the upper control arms here, otherwise known as UCAs in some other countries like the US. Basically they're made out of a chromoly steel. We've got an FK chromoly ball joint that we insert inside of here. Now the reason we do that, like a factory OE arm doesn't have the flex in the actual ball joint for when you lift the vehicle. There's a couple of problems a standard arm has when you go and put like say a 3-inch lift in one of these vehicles. The first is, as you can see with our arms, we've got so much clearance in behind here. Now these Pro Fender struts in here, if that was a factory OE arm, like this arm here, this distance is it's a lot different shape in through here. So what would be happening, it would be down and that would actually be hitting the coil. Now that causes a clunking noise while you're driving. So if you do have a lifted Vigo or a Prado and you're experiencing this clunking noise while you're driving, that's probably why. You're probably running a factory OE arm and causing you problems. What it does as it comes down, it'll jam on one of the winds of the coil and it's quite annoying. The second thing is with an OE arm, you've got a pressed in rubber bush here. Now as you can imagine, you clamp that up tight and that's holding that there. So that wants to resist any sort of travel. What we do in these aftermarket ones, a bolt runs all the way through. We've actually got poly bushes in there with a crush bar. Normally in four-wheel drives, we don't think poly's a great thing, our personal opinion, but in this it's great because it actually allows the arm to go up and down very smoothly. So that's gonna make your suspension a lot more smooth. We've got multiple grease points in there. The poly suitable for grease, we use the suitable grease, and you lubricate it in through the back, so that's gonna allow that. The FK ball joint has a greasable point there. On the arm over here where the ABS line, it's got a proper attachment point there, so all your ABS line's all safe. Now the FK joints that we use, they're a big chromoly joint, heaps of beef in those when you compare them to a little factory ball joint. When that boot comes off, that's a tiny little joint there, and you don't get much travel out of those joints, whereas these will go a lot more travel. As I said earlier, they're made from chromoly steel, so strength is way over what a factory one is. Finished in a nice powder coat. If you're worried about the appearance, some people might go, oh, but that doesn't look like an OE part. We can supply them black if needed, but generally silver's the colour. In here is a little dust cap that's pressed in by a little circlip. That's easily removable, ball joints replaceable. With a grease nipple there, you can keep that lubricated up and you'll have years of life for that ball joint, and it is a replaceable part if needed. Now the Superior Engineering upper control arms are fairly easy to fit. Basically it's just one big bolt that's running through the back and you've got this assembly in here. So fitting them's actually quite easy. It's just a matter of, as you would normally remove the strut, you take the strut out so all the weight's off out of here, undoing the bolt. Sometimes you might take an air cleaner out or a battery depending on the setup of your vehicle, removing that bolt and the new one just replaces in. There's no cutting, no modifying, anything like that. So you're probably talking maybe 2 hours to fit a set of these and you're up and going. They do also assist in wheel alignment. You do tend to find that when you go and put a 3 or 4 inch lift in these vehicles, or even a 2 inch lift, your wheel alignment starts going to the maximum. The wheel alignment's being factored into these and it actually brings the wheel back into a better placement. So you're not going to wear your tyres as bad and the thing's going to control properly and handle properly. Those combined with a great shock in the front, there's no reason you can't have a 3 or 4 inch lift in these vehicles and the thing just drives safely and smooth. For more information on these upper control arms, you can talk to the sales guys at work or jump online at superiorengineering.com.au.